Here's another episode of the free VST plugin detective, where I review, test out, and demonstrate various free VSTs. And normally on this series, I've done a lot of instruments, right? I typically do a lot of instruments because I find that sometimes it's really difficult to get a good saxophone sound, especially if you're trying to find samples, yet getting a good plugin makes it a lot easier, right? Anyway, this is one of those few examples where I'm not going to be really doing an instrument, but more of a tool to enhance certain samples and elements in your productions. This is the Petit Excite right here. Obviously, as you can see, super simple plugin right off the bat. When it comes to the GUI, or the graphical user interface of this plugin, super simple, super straightforward, and there's a lot of versatility within this plugin. My FRECCERO rating right off the bat, I'm going to give it, I'd say probably about a 4 out of 5. The reason why is this plugin can do a lot, but there's definitely a lot of, I think, limitations in the algorithms that it uses. Now, this is basically an exciter, and on these series, I don't really like to give a lot of, tutorials or music production explanation. I more want to demonstrate the plugin itself. However, just give you a little background, basically an exciter and a very, very oversimplistic explanation helps kind of saturate certain frequencies that really an EQ can't really touch. And this is very useful for vocals, especially if you have a vocal and you want to come out brighter or boost the highs and saturate the highs in a particular way. Here you go. Now, as you can see, you have basically CV, which I'll get to. Input, basically the inputting sound. You basically have your low exciter and your high exciter, depending on how much you want to excite it. You have your noise floor and then your output. Now, on this plugin, obviously, like I said, it's very useful for vocals, but use it kind of for anything. And a good way to think of what this does, like I said about saturating certain, elements of the EQ spectrum, is essentially it just makes it brighter or excites it or saturates it in certain frequencies, right? And obviously, in this case, you just have a low, if you want to excite the low, and a high. Now, the reason why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 is because it's very, very easy to over-excite certain elements in your track. And granted, that's not necessarily the plugin's fault, but I feel like there's some algorithms that the plugins uses that I think could be a little smoother. That's why it also has CV. Now, CV helps kind of tame the high. Now, I'm going to play this. Obviously, sometimes it's easier to just hear it rather than me trying to explain it. So this is a vocal that I have, basically my track Fallen Deep. I'll play a little bit of it. I know, some shameless self-promotion, but... Right. So it kind of builds up. I'll just show you like the second drop, I guess. It's kind of like a deep house track I made, so I'm going to go through this. So you get it. Basically, it's a deep house track, and so this was perfect for these vocals. Now I'm going to solo this one because obviously I doubled them, as you can see. So this one, what I decided to do is kind of create that low, deep look, as you can hear it, because I feel like it kind of goes well with deep house, especially blending these two together. I like the kind of low end texture that it added. Now, at the same time, because we're so low, I feel like I want a little excitement, especially in the higher register. So this is kind of what I did. So I'm going to turn this off so you can hear it. Now turning it on. Right. Immediately you can hear that the higher end of that spectrum is boosted. It's a little more saturated. And I guess for being specific, it's more excited. I guess is a interesting phrase for that, but you get what I'm saying. Now, as I'm going to show you, it's very easy to overuse this plugin, which is why you notice I only turn the knob up, just a slight amount, because I'm going to play it, and huge ear warning, this is going to sound bad, so just give me the heads up. Right. I guess that doesn't sound that bad, I guess. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, because on some elements, it can really over push the high end, and it sounds horrible. So as with this plugin, I feel like it's one of those plugins that you only boost it a little bit. It's more of just like, I guess, the sprinkles on top of your thing. It's not going to be a full meal. Ice cream, I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy, but you know what I'm saying. It's really like the sprinkles on top as opposed to putting all this other stuff onto it, right? So I just use it lightly. Now, what the CV does, I guess if you're curious about that, is the CV basically helps tame the high end because it kind of compresses it a slight bit, because on some elements, let me see if I can find one and kind of exaggerate. I'm going to do this just for this video, so I'm going to copy it here. Now this also has higher vocals. So as you can see, the high end's really like, being overpowered. So we turn the CV. The CV helps kind of compress it a little bit so the high ends don't get completely out of whack, I guess is a good way to word that. Yeah. So basically the CV kind of helps tame it. Also, like I said, you have all this other stuff here on this plugin. But like I said, this plugin is very versatile. I think you use it for a lot of things, not just vocals, but synths as well. But I do give it a 4 out of 5 because while it is good as an exciter, I think that there's a lot of other thing. There's basically a lot to exciting an element in the sound that I wish there were more functionality with this plugin. Obviously, it is free, but I feel like it's very simple. And although simple sometimes is good, if you're looking for a true exciter that you can really get more specific, this is not the best one for that. But like I said, if you're looking for a quick exciter that you're just like, you know what, I don't need all this technical stuff. All I'm going to do is boost the high end, like say in this case on the vocal. That's all I want to do, just saturate it a little bit to kind of add some more, you know, exciteness to the high end. This plugin is perfect for that, like I said, right? Off, and then on. So it does really help to saturate the high end. And then obviously if I'm going to show you the low end, right now, when I do both, so I'm going to turn this off. And you can kind of hear that saturation, that nice kind of, you know, excitedness on the low end. Also, this is a vocal, so it's not as prominent, but you can still kind of hear it kind of pop out more, right? So, like I said, great versatile plugin. I do suggest, though, only kind of using the low and the high a little bit, as you saw on my, I think it was like right here, or whatever, was my original setting for this vocal. You don't need a lot. It's like I said, it's just the sprinkles on top. Do stuff with it, especially if you're using the high end. I do suggest using the CV2, so you kind of compress it a little bit, just in case it's kind of getting to a frequency range that you don't want, and it's kind of peaking a little bit. In the high end, it doesn't sound good. So I would say definitely balance it out with the CV as well. But anyway, hope this video was helpful. Obviously, I like to review all different types of plugins, and this is a great one, y'all. This is, I'd say, probably the most notorious, most famous free exciter plugin out there that can do a lot. It has a lot of versatility, but it is very similar, and if you're looking for a little more of a intricate plugin for exciting an element in your track, as you can see, this one's very, very straightforward, kind of the KISS method of keep it simple, stupid. So, but definitely check out this plugin. I have the full free download list below in the description. Obviously, it's free, so you might as well get it. You might as well use it, especially if you're doing vocals. This is going to add a nice little, you know, brightness, both the high end or the low end, depending on what you want, to the sample, regardless of what the sample is, even a percussive element, I guess, if you want to. So, definitely check out the plugin listed below in the description. And in addition to, I've reviewed so many plugins, so many free VSTs. Obviously, they're all free. That's the name of the series. So, definitely check out the entire playlist listed below in the description.